overwhelming. I mean, I walked in here and my jaw dropped.
Tonight at 11, donations are pouring in for a local firefighter after the unthinkable happens, how he's reacting to the overwhelming support. Plus, a deadly accident at a Missouri water park is raising questions about this gigantic water slide.
I think it's bad for business because it's going to discourage people from coming into the city.
Plus, parking problems, why some people don't want to see any more meters on Hurdle Avenue, why the city says it's a necessary change.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 11.
That brotherhood that is the fire service is strong, whether it's 3 miles away or 3,000 miles away.
The kindness of strangers is giving a North Tonawanda family a fresh start. Good evening. Ken Walker's story has been shared around the world. People lined up today to deliver boxes of clothes and home goods to Ken Walker and his family. News 4's Rachel Monjovi has Walker's reaction to the outpouring of support. Rachel?
Callan, this emotional week is coming to an end, but the support and the love isn't. Today, the community shows just how much they're behind this family.
Earlier this week, the Walker family, the Gratwick Hose Company, and the city of North Tonawanda was thrust into the national spotlight through a heinous act that offended and disgusted us all.
An emotional week ends with hope. Hope that a family can rebuild.
Everyone was pulled together to help us through this situation, and I'm confident that soon we can, get back to life as usual.
Volunteer firefighter Ken Walker and his family suffered a devastating loss. Police say a neighbor set fire to their home 2 days after he received a racist threat.
A very tumultuous week and the full range of emotions. Monday we were sickened and revolted by the letter, and then Wednesday we were angry and over the fire.
Police don't know yet if the two acts were related. The Walker family lost everything in the fire. Now their story has been heard across the country. Support and donations pouring in from communities here in Western New York and all over the nation. GoFundMe donations continue to rise, now reaching nearly 150,000. Sunday, even more people came out to the Gratwick Hose Volunteer Fire Company's donation drive, bringing anything and everything.
It's overwhelming. I mean, I walked in here and my jaw dropped.
Today, here we have the community coming out, just absolutely in spades supporting Ken Walker and his family.
The Walker family says the donations gives them a chance to start over.
I never lost faith in the community. It was never, what are they going to think of me?
The Gratwick Hose Volunteer Fire Company says you can continue to donate items to the fire company throughout the week. In the newsroom tonight, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 11.
Thank you, Rachel. The man who admitted to police he started the fire at the Walker's home will be back in court this Thursday. Matt Giraudo pleaded not guilty to the charge. He lived across the street from Walker, and documents obtained by News 4 show it may have stemmed from a dispute over joining a volunteer fire department. Giraudo is being held on $50,000 bail. Kansas City law enforcers are investigating the death of a young boy at this water park. 10-year-old Caleb Schwab died on the park's main attraction, the world's tallest water slide. Few details have been released about his death, but we have learned riders climb more than 200 steps to get to the top of the slide. Then they go down in 100-pound multi-person rafts.
We honestly don't know what's happened. That's why an investigation, a full investigation, is necessary. Right now, our focus is with the family. Our thoughts and prayers are with them.
The young boy was the son of a Kansas state lawmaker. Park officials say the ride will remain closed during the investigation. All new at 11, the pilot of the hot air balloon that crashed in Texas last weekend may not have seen the power lines ahead of him. 16 people died in the accident. A CNN source says investigators believe the pilot was trying to descend through a break in the clouds when the balloon struck the lines and caught on fire. It was the deadliest hot air balloon crash in U.S. history. There are now 16 confirmed cases of the Zika virus in the Miami area, and U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer is calling on Congress to return to Washington to address funding concerns. Schumer says a potential vaccine could be jeopardized unless lawmakers end their recess early and approve a nearly $2 billion emergency Zika bill. Schumer says he made the request in a letter to the House and Senate.
But unfortunately, because Congress hasn't allocated the money, the trial on this vaccine is going to come to a screeching halt, and we won't have a vaccine. It is utterly amazing.
Congress will reconvene in September. The death toll has risen in Mexico following Hurricane Earl. 38 people were killed. Soldiers are now digging through damage left behind by the storm. It flooded roads and several homes were buried in mudslides. All eyes now are on Tropical Storm Javier. Tonight, that storm is forming off of Mexico. Andrew, is there any chance that we'll see any of the remnants of the storm here in the U.S.?
Well, we could see some of that approaching Southern California. These two storms, Earl, first of all, originating in the Caribbean before slamming into the Yucatan Peninsula. That's into eastern Mexico. And now Javier, which we're tracking, Tropical Storm Javier on the western side of Mexico, right in the eastern Pacific. And right now moving northwest around 11 miles an hour at last check. And max winds at 52 miles per hour. It's expected to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane as it moves into the Baja Peninsula. That's set to be around Tuesday early in the day, around Tuesday morning, before continuing to climb right up the Baja Peninsula. So unfortunately, this is going to impact a lot of people, but it will be weakening as it does so. Well, here in western New York, things are quiet. We don't have any rain in sight for the next couple of days at least. We've only had a trace so far this month. We're just over 3/4 of an inch below our average and 8.32 inches below for the year. Well, maybe not any rain in the next couple of days. I'm tracking some good news in that 7-day, but things are all quiet right now. Temperatures in the low 70s across the Niagara frontier, some low mid 60s for you in the southern tier. Slight breeze out of the north, but overall pretty calm conditions, and that will continue for tomorrow. So here's how tonight's shaping up. Skies are mainly clear, cool and dry with maybe some patchy valley fog. Tomorrow looking absolutely beautiful with a whole lot of sunshine. Very calm, though, going to be a toasty one as a result. Coming up in my full forecast, we'll take a look at this computer model, and I'll let you know when rain will arrive. Callan.
Thanks, Andrew. It could cost more to park on Hurdle Avenue. Local leaders say people are parking in city-owned lots for long stretches of time, and the lack of turnover makes it difficult to find a parking spot on the Strip. As News 4's Marissa Perlman explains, in a growing business district, there are mixed feelings about the change.
It's always been difficult here, and you only got so many quarters in your in your pocket for the meters,
Like for John Lamb, parking woes are common for people who frequent Hurdle Avenue.
Most times you wouldn't be able to, you'd have to drive up and down the street a couple of times. And then if you parked on a side street, who knows how far down the side street you had to go.
But as early as September, more parking meters will be placed on Hurdle Avenue and paid meter parking hours will be extended. All meters will have a 2-hour max.
I think it's bad for business because it's going to discourage people from coming into the city and people even in the city because they're writing tickets aggressively and it just discourages them. They think they're going to get a ticket when they come here.
John Marfoglia is just one business owner who's not happy about these changes. He says other businesses on Hurdle have started a petition to the city asking them to keep parking the way it is.
Another complaint is coming from moviegoers who go into the North Park Theater and see a movie that lasts about 2 hours and 15 minutes, only to come outside and find a ticket on top of their car.
I think 2 hours, especially if you're going to see a movie, isn't long enough. How would you run out? Even last week we were in Grandma Mora's with some friends and they don't live around here, so they were concerned about running out and feeding the meter even in 2 hours because we were having a ladies' lunch.
The city hopes to change that, at least in part. 3-hour parking will now be allowed in front of the North Park Theater and a block on either side. Meanwhile, Marfoglia says he's still concerned the change will push people away.
We're looking for people to check out Hurdle. It's happening, it's thriving, it's alive.
Reporting on Hurdle Avenue, Marissa Perlman, News 4.
Riding to Remember. Today, friends and family paid tribute to fallen Army veteran Jonathan Cote. It's been more than 8 years since the Williamsville native was kidnapped and held hostage in Iraq for almost a year and a half. Today, hundreds geared up and rode in his memory. The ride raises money for Western New York Heroes, which helps support veterans, members of the armed services, and widows and children of the fallen. The funds also go towards a scholarship in Cote's memory at his alma mater, Williamsville North High School.
They read the book, Big Boy Rules, and they do an essay and are a stellar performer in high school and volunteer to many activities after school.
To find out more about the Jonathan Cote Memorial Ride and his story, head to our website, WIVB.com. Hundreds of people came out to watch the thrilling hydroplane races this weekend. After the break, why racers say this is a family affair. And mark your calendars, the Erie County Fair is just days away now. Learn the special treat for parents who visit the fairgrounds.